Two, one. What's up? Episode 12. We're doing good. We're keeping them going.
Damn,
But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling not too bad. I thought you were feeling good too, but you seem stressed. What's going on?
I've been feeling good last. I haven't had any stress. I was in Vegas for like 5 or 6 days, feeling good. Then I went to the post office today because I had 2 slips. I was jacked. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting a couple packages from either Reebok or Sanibel or something. But they were just big fat envelopes from the Nevada State Athletic Commission talking about the whole USADA situation. So and then I went to the coffee shop and kind of read through it, and it's fucking super stressful. I got a hearing on the 24th
Of this month?
of this month, but I think we're gonna have to ask for it to be pushed back a little bit because I don't think caffeine pills will be tested by then. So I gotta pay $1,000 per supplement, so I gotta go pay $1,000 for them to test these caffeine pills. If it's not those, we're gonna test something else. And those take about 3 to 4 weeks. I don't know. We already talked about that a bunch, but that's pretty much.
It's just a lot more shit than you expected.
Yeah, it just sucks because I didn't do anything. That's the thing that just sucks the most.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't want to fucking talk about that a bunch because it's just pointless to talk about. And I've already said pretty much everything I've needed to say. So.
Yeah. And just like I was saying before the podcast started, it's weird everything's always going good, but then something hits you. Some sort of stress just randomly comes. You're like, fuck. It's just constantly like up, down, up, down. How was the trip in Vegas? Looked fun.
Yeah, the Vegas trip was one of my favorites. Danny and I went down. It was nice just because I didn't have any nothing. I didn't have to do anything. Like we went there Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We were gonna leave Friday, and then I did like this interview with Luke Thomas and Misha Tate, and Dan Hardy, and so I was like, yeah, I'll stay Friday night and do that Saturday. And then one of my sponsors said, hey, we got extra tickets to fights. And I don't know, kind of want to go see the pups, and then ended up going to the fights, and then just drove home right after fights. But the Vegas trip itself was super cool. We went to a pool party. Danny and I did. We were hanging out with some chicks. It was fun. Danny was. It was the best trip we've went on together.
Yeah, I was pumped when I heard that you guys were having so much fun, and I figured because like before we'd always be like, okay, we want to like flirt with other chicks and do this and be like free ourselves, our guys. But now it's like, okay, we can bring our girls. Our girls are gonna have fun too. Our girls are gonna help us pick up chicks. Our girls are gonna try to pick up chicks with us. So it's almost like
we were making out with this one chick at the pool party, and we got a bunch of chicks' numbers, and it ended up being the best trip we've ever went on. It was in Vegas. It's so fun. We're excited to go back, and we're excited to go with you and Mariah too.
That's fucking
a little
sweet.
competition, like you said.
Shit. Was the Ireland fans nuts?
Yeah, the one of my favorite parts about the whole thing was we were at the press conference. I went to the press I wasn't gonna go into the press conference. I was gonna go there, take pictures with the fans. There wasn't a second I wasn't taking pictures with the fans. We got a bunch of good footage of it. It was super fun. But then we ended up going into the press conference. Kind of like sat in the top left area. Like it was kind of far away. And Connor didn't show up. Khabib left. So I was like, hey, let's get out of here before it gets too wild. And then we can't leave. So I was sneaking out, and someone yelled Sugar, and I kind of like waved to him. And then the crowd started going Sugar. And it was cool because Dana White was getting asked a question or answering a question, and he had to completely stop talking because not the entire arena or whatever was yelling, but it was very loud. I went back and watched it on YouTube, and you could hear when they started chanting Sugar. So that was super sweet. Yeah, that was one of the coolest parts of it.
I wonder if Dana saw that they were all yelling for you because Ryan and I were watching the press conference too, and we heard everyone yelling. We're like, "Oh, that was probably Rashawn."
Damn, I should text him and let him know.
He probably did. Did he see you up there standing with your arms open?
I don't know. We were kind of high up there. I don't know.
That's sweet. How many days did you go to the PI?
We just went to the Performance Institute once. Just showed my parents around. I got stem cell injections Tuesday morning, right before we left for Vegas. And the injections itself hurt pretty bad. But the after pain, about an hour after, was extremely bad, and it was like it literally felt like I just got out of surgery. They said they gave me a prescription for some, I think hydrocodone or something, and they're like, I highly recommend you go and grab these. So I went and grabbed those, and I'm so glad I did because my foot hurt so bad. Danny had to drive to Vegas because my foot hurt so bad.
Why did they start hurting like a couple hours after?
They said it's normal.
Fuck.
Because
How long was the needle?
I didn't look at the needles, but they had to have put at least 20 needles in my foot. They put stem cells and PRP.
Damn.
Yeah, these guys are out of Scottsdale, stem cells, and they're hooking it up. They're doing it all for free.
Do you know their names?
I think it's just stem cell spa in Scottsdale, but they're hooking it up. That's a very expensive procedure. But honestly, I could say my foot feels noticeably better. Because we were walking around a lot in Vegas. My foot was constantly sore from walking. But we got back Sunday morning, and right now, what is it, Tuesday? My foot feels so good. I did CrossFit Monday morning as well, and I'm so sore. I've never done CrossFit, and that was I'm so sore.
That's sweet, dude. What fight did you get to the fights at? Main card?
I think Sergio Pettis versus Formiga, which was one of the dumbest, most boring fights I've ever seen. I don't get why people lay. I mean, you're still trying to make that extra check. You're still trying to get paid. You're still trying to win. He did.
That's what he said. He's like, I'm fucking don't get my win bonus if I make this exciting.
Yeah, see that. I mean, if you look at it, it's just different perspectives. When you look at it from an entertainment, like I'm all about the entertainment. I'm all about that. And it's just so. But you can't get mad at someone for doing that. But it is boring. It's like those are the type of people you don't want to fight. Like why would it? You're boring. You literally are just boring. But like I said, trying to get paid.
Yeah, shit happens. Fucking our boy Hot Sauce though. You didn't get to see it, did you?
No.
Fucking looked good, dude. Fought a kid that was 15-1.
It's impressive.
And Sauce looked good. He looked like, I don't know, all his last fights, he didn't look super comfortable in there. Looked kind of like,
a little hesitant.
Not really hesitant, but just kind of like nervous in there. In the gym, he fights. He's so fucking good. And then finally, he turned it over and fought like he does in the gym in the cage and knocked this kid out in the third round. It was fucking so sweet. He deserved that. It was awesome for him. But the Derek Lewis fight, that was nuts.
Watching that live, I was like, in my head, I don't know if I'm just being a hater, but in my head, I'm like, this is embarrassing. He was stumbling around, falling over, like getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
And he obviously knocked him out, but it was just embarrassing, and I think he was embarrassed.
Oh yeah, he could tell he was embarrassed.
Dude, it was in live. It was embarrassing.
Oh my god! Imagine when that Volkov watches that back. What he thinks. 20 seconds left, and you're just dominating.
I think it was 10
was
or
it?
11.
Oh.
And then the other fight, Reyes, was I think similar set time. That was a sweet knockout. That kid's good.
Yeah, he is good. That Derek Lewis though too. Literally, if that Volkov wouldn't have thrown that knee, he wouldn't have got knocked out. Like there's no way. He threw that knee, was on one foot, his hands were down. Derek stepped in with that 1-2 and fucking flattered his ass.
You watched it at home by yourself?
Yeah, Mariah and I ordered them just because like. I'm like a fight of this magnitude. Everyone's gonna talk about it. I want to see it. I don't want to go to a bar. I don't want to go to a bunch of people's houses where I'm talking to everyone and my focus isn't on the fights. There, I gotta take a good couple rips, eat the food I wanted, and sit right in front of the screen and have no one bug me and just watch the fights and watch the techniques. And that was one of my favorite times watching the fights. But the Tony Ferguson Pettis fight,
dude, I swear that was the loudest the crowd got.
Really?
Thinking back on it, I remember it was when they checked the cut, and then they were kind of staring at each other, waiting to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
That moment was electric, dude.
Oh, I bet that was fucking sweet.
It made my stomach sick, knowing I should have been fighting there with that arena with the Irish fans, and knowing I was gonna go out there and do what I was gonna. Oh, dude, it made me so sick.
I tried not to think about it. Watching the embeddeds leading up, watching the weigh-ins, I'm like,
dude, but. What are you going to do?
We'll look back on it a couple years and you'll have the belt around your waist and it won't matter at all.
Exactly.
And all this stress will go away. It won't fucking matter. But Tony Ferguson broke Pettis. He
broke him.
Broke that man. He made that guy. Okay, you have a broken hand. Sweet. Well, you got a right hand. You got two knees. You got two
Broke his
kicks.
right hand.
Yeah, he broke his right hand. He went on that stool and he told his coach, no. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't do anything to Pettis, and he broke him. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm not nothing against him, but like Tony could break a lot of people. But like, God, me in that situation, you in that situation. Okay, say you were in that situation. I'd say, okay, you want out? If you wanted out, I'd say, okay, we're not out. But if you had one hand, I'd be like, dude, go try to knock this motherfucker out with your left leg, your right leg, your left hand. Try to knock his ass out for the next 30 seconds to a minute. If you don't get that, I'm throwing in the towel.
Dude, yeah. You fought with a broken jaw. His hand was broke.
Oh.
Like, if if I would have known your jaw was broken in between rounds, I'd have been like, dude, are you like that's the life changing shit. Your jaw's broken, you get hit there again hard. That's your hand's broken. Fuck.
God,
and I feel like you can fight. Maybe.
Well, especially with that jaw, I was sitting in that corner. I'm like, it was so engraved in my mind. I can't lose this fight. It didn't even cross my mind losing that fight. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my fuck. Like, looking back on it, I wish like I would have not went out. I guess I don't know. What if I'd have knocked the guy out and it was the coolest moment ever? But yeah. I could have risked getting my fucking jaw clean knocked off, my whole face broke on both sides. But
my jaw ached thinking about that.
I don't know. If I had a broken hand, you bet money I'm going back out there. I'm gonna fucking score a takedown, or I'm gonna try to knock this fucker out with my other limbs.
Yeah. But still, Pettis is a bad motherfucker, and he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. I don't want to act like I'm talking shit about him, but I just think you go out there and fight for a little bit longer, try to knock him out. I don't know.
And I showed Mariah like two different posts, like pre-USADA Pettis and now. Yeah. Holy fuck, dude. He's fucking chiseled up when he fights Benson. Huge, ripped all the way down. This fight, he looked like...
Yeah, definitely... USADA. I like USADA. I'm all for the people being, not on steroids. And for this to happen, it just blows my mind. I've been seeing a little bit more hate. Someone messaged me and said, can't believe I was sitting by you at the fight, you fucking cheater. You should have been out there. Blah. It's like, people, look at me. I tested with 0.08, not 0.8, 0.08 nanograms. Like, that has to be a tainted supplement. If you look at it any other way, you're an idiot. That's just what it comes down to, and it'll get proven like that. So. Yeah,
it's just like anyone who knows us too. It's like, holy fuck, that's the most important thing to us is our supplements and what we eat. It's literally almost just as important as sleep. Like, sleep and what we eat. Like,
anybody that thinks I'm cheating that hasn't listened to these last 12 podcasts, I think it's pretty obvious they should.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the main event, what did you think about that? Conor versus Khabib.
Man, that's what I was telling everyone. If I had to bet my own money, I'd bet Khabib.
Same.
But there is a way Conor could win, and going out there, I was like, God, I would love to see Conor pull it off because I love just seeing underdogs and people who are not supposed to win.
Right.
So I was like, fuck, I would love to see Conor win, and I thought he did pretty good. Came out right off the bat, was backing him up. Obviously couldn't stop his takedowns, but
he stopped five of them in the third round.
Didn't he win the third round?
He did. After getting his ass beat. I'm going to clarify something because I just said I would bet money on Khabib too. I did a post saying I think Conor's going to knock him out in the second round. I got paid to make that post. I didn't really know. In my heart, I'm like, okay, Khabib's probably going to win. Or no, in my head, I was like, Khabib's going to win. In my heart, I'm like, I want to see Conor knock him out in the second. I thought if I kept saying it, it might happen. But I just seen that fight going that way.
Yeah. Someone who's never lost a fucking round. Who knows how much time Conor took off from grappling when he was boxing that year, getting ready for Floyd. And, grappling's not something you can be like, oh, okay, I'm going to catch up. I'm going to get 3 weeks, 4 weeks of grappling in. It's a years and years you got to progress in grappling. So, I kind of figured that, but I was just still, there was that hope with those little rocks on your hands.
Fucking Khabib dropped Conor. I was like, dude, Khabib's not bad at striking. And Conor leaves his hands down. I wasn't surprised he dropped him at all.
See, I didn't even think about that. But just fucking changed levels a little bit. Conor, you could see Conor react. His front leg pulls back like he's in a sprawl and then gets cracked that overhand right.
Chael said, though, Conor did the big things very well as far as defending the takedowns. He did really good. It was the small things. I didn't notice it. Chael was talking about some certain grips and shit like that. But I thought he did very well and gave Khabib his first loss, first round ever.
Yep.
So that was huge. I mean, I guess at the end it's not huge because he got fucking his ass whooped. But
yeah, but John Kavanagh was on Joe Rogan's and he said Conor wants a fight. He wants that back. And if they're smart, they'll take like a week off and then get right to grappling, right to wrestling, and right to jiu-jitsu and like build on it and build up to that next rematch. Because who knows? I'd like to watch a rematch.
I would. I would probably watch that. I'd always watch a Nate Conor. I don't really care too much for Jose Conor. What about you?
No, fuck no. Jose could beat him, which we don't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like 13 seconds. That doesn't mean who's better.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. I'd watch Tony versus Khabib too. But I don't think Khabib's gonna be fighting much. Like, weren't you hearing from a bunch of people too that he was gonna retire after this fight?
Oh, I never heard that.
I think Cormier said that.
Fuck.
I think Cormier.
Ferguson versus Khabib. We have to see that because Tony is not gonna slow down at all.
Well, they've tried to fight. They've been set up like 3 times. That's the problem.
I hope that happens. That Tony's a fucking mauler. I was texting the boys the other day. I was like, imagine Benson versus Tony. Like, healthy Benson, healthy Tony. They both have gas tanks that don't run out. Like,
what about
even a few years ago, that fight would be nuts.
Dylan Dennis versus Rafael dos Santos.
Jesus,
dude, I would love to watch that. I want to Rafael. I don't not like Dylan Dennis, but I think Dos Anjos is one of the baddest motherfuckers ever.
Dude, Dos Anjos would treat him like a fucking little kid. He'd beat the brakes off him. Man, but everyone's going nuts about that whole Khabib thing, jumping out of the cage and stuff. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck do you expect? What the fuck do you expect? You're bringing, there's kids in the crowd. You're bringing kids in the crowd to pretty much a gang fight. This is what this is. That's Russia versus Ireland. They're talking all this shit. Don't bring your kids to that kind of event. Or if you do, don't bring them cage side for sure because there's a madness going on. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, it's so bad for the sport. Wow, how embarrassing. It's like, shut the fuck up. These guys are trying to knock each other's fucking head off. They're trying to take each other's money. They're trying to embarrass each other in front of, like, their countries. There's so much shit going on. And then I don't know. It's not that big of a deal.
But also, UFC wanting to be like the NFL, NBA, can't have that.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a setback to the sport in a way. It depends. It's all perspective how you look at it. You should be able to bring your kids to an event. It's still an entertainment thing. Yeah. I don't know. Definitely both ways.
How many fights have there been in the NFL? Fucking brawls, team versus team.
I watched last night a boxing. I was listening to Ariel Helwani on his thing talking about the worst boxing brawl ever. So I YouTubed it. It was Andrew Gallardo versus some other guy. And that brawl was insane. The whole it was nuts. It was like a 10-minute brawl, and it just like moved everywhere. It was nuts. And then I actually watched him fight Mike Tyson, and he straight quit in after the third round. He got dropped, and he straight up quit. Didn't answer the bell, and his coach trying to put his mouth guard, and he left. After he got dropped by Tyson, he's like,
Damn, that's crazy. But even in baseball, how many baseball scraps are there? Did it ruin the sport? Right. Oh my God, we're not bringing our kids a baseball game because another team, they got in a fight with the other team, and it was just not.
But it wasn't in the crowd. But there's been basketball, NBA's had fights in the crowd like that. Soccer has. Every sport has.
That's got to be the fucking sweetest picture, though. Habib just trying to stomp Dylan Dennis.
That was a fucking tight picture. That dude that punched Connors. They jumped in the cage. That was pretty fucked up. That was probably the most fucked up thing of them all.
Yeah, it was just like it just reminded me of a fucking street fight.
Because what if he would have dropped Connor and knocked him out and like did some serious damage?
He could have broke his fucking orbital and made him blind.
Yeah, could have.
Those punches from behind can really fuck you up. You don't see him coming.
Especially after just fighting for 20 minutes and getting an ass whooping and getting dropped.
I was like, oh shit. But just like I was saying in that tweet, like. Habib could have broke Connor's neck. 100% he could have broke Connor's neck. The way he had that neck crank, the way he was cranking in with his hips, his legs, and everything, he wasn't going to let go. And that was going to break his spine. And Herb Dean literally pulled his hands off the choke perfectly.
Good ref.
That could have been a lot worse. I was hoping Khabib wouldn't snatch up that Kimura he was searching for because I knew he was gonna tear that fucker off too. I was like, oh shit.
Conor defended well. Conor was very impressive. I felt like.
I thought he looked good.
I watched it live. I'm like, God, Conor getting his ass whooped, and then I watched it back. I'm like, he did pretty good.
Yeah. What was it? The second round when he was taking all that damage.
That's
from
when he
the
got
top?
dropped. Yeah, and then he took the damage. Yeah.
Oof, man, Habib was fucking throwing some heavy shots, but that was emptying his tank. It really was.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That was sweet.
God, being there made me want to fight so fucking bad. Like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get suspended. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna train. I'm gonna get better. But then being there, I'm like, fuck, I want to fight so bad. Just seeing the Ireland crowd just go, like that's what I want. I want to sell out arenas like that. The weigh-ins with 10,000 people.
Yeah.
God damn, that was sweet.
That was intense. Did you guys go to the weigh-ins or not?
No, we didn't.
We got some pretty good fan questions. We'll go into them. This guy says, how do I keep my head as clear as possible for my upcoming bout? For your upcoming bout, man, practice it. Every time you go to practice, that should be your practice right there. Don't stress too much. Like, I don't know if your fight's an amateur fight or a pro fight, but think it's 15 minutes of one day. If it's an amateur fight, it's 9 minutes of one day. So it's pointless to be stressing every night, stressing, making up stories in your head that aren't even real. Like, focus on the good things. If you have a negative thought go through your mind, counter it right away with a positive. Oh, this guy takes me down. Well, I'm going to stuff his head, belly out, I'm going to get up. Oh, this guy rocked me. Well, I'm going to circle around, get my hands up. You counter each negative thing with a positive. What do you think? How do you keep your head as clear as possible for your upcoming fights?
It literally comes down, like, I feel like it's way easier to have positive thoughts if you're training like you know you should be. If you're doing everything you know you should be doing, I think the positive thoughts, like, I feel like going into a fight, I'm going to win because of how I'm training. And if I'm not training hard, I'm not going to feel that way. So I think just literally let the training, trust in the training.
Yeah, for sure. And just, I kind of trust in your coaches too, and trust like your strength conditioning coach, your grappling coach, all those guys, they're looking out for you, and just trust in them and do what they say. With everything that has happened with the UFC 229, does this make you more motivated?
Oh, God. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just watching the fights, just seeing the crowd, just seeing the fans, and the whole atmosphere made me super motivated. And it just sucks because I'm dealing with this suspension thing. It could be 3 months. It could be 24 months. So it's fucking stressful. But it did make me more motivated, and that was good.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, going to make you more thankful to fight because past couple of years you've been fighting so much nonstop, and then kind of we don't even think about like, okay, this isn't going to happen forever. You're not going to be able to fight all the time forever. Now this gets thrown on us, so next time you fight, it's going to make you be thankful and appreciative and be happy that we're there.
Yeah.
How do you decide to follow your heart or your inner feeling and not give a fuck?
1, 2, 3, fuck it.
It depends. What is that inner feeling? Like, what is it? Like, yeah, don't give a fuck. Okay, we don't go to school. We didn't get a normal job. It's not that we don't give a fuck, but it's because we found our passion, and we know that we're going to put our work ethic into that passion, and it's going to make a living from it. So it's like, not giving a fuck in some ways good, but you can't just say, oh, I don't give a fuck, and sit there all day and be lazy and be a pothead and watch TV, or you can't just do that because you're not going to go anywhere.
Check out the book of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's about knowing when to give a fuck and when not to give a fuck. Check that book out. That'll answer your question.
Hell yeah. If you stopped enjoying fighting training, would you stop? If I stopped enjoying all training and fighting, 100% I would stop. That's the thing about MMA. It's so nice because sometimes you get bored of stand-up, so then we'll go wrestle. Sometimes you get bored of wrestling, so we'll go to jiu-jitsu. I feel like there's so many different ways to improve yourself in fighting and training, whether it's reading, whether it's building your brain up, whether it's building your body up through strength and conditioning, whether it's there's so many different ones. It'd be hard for me to get bored. Plus, it's my true passion. But if I truly hated it and hated going to the gym, fuck yeah, I would stop. What about you?
I feel like right now, if I felt like I didn't want to train at all, I think I would still, just because I know, you go through phases of everything. Like, I'm not going to stop training because in 4 years, I would be like, God, why wasn't I training? I love this shit again. And that's a couple years or however long I missed out on of getting better. So I don't think I would unless I don't know. It's hard to say.
And completely stop, yeah, that's a different story. But maybe like take a week off, take 2 weeks off, take a fucking month off, and don't do it at all. Go do something else. Go do something else. Like you're probably gonna come back and want it.
Crave it
For sure. Do you notice improvements in your jiu-jitsu after large or small amounts of time?
Yeah, I feel like I go through phases where I'm just like, holy shit, my jiu-jitsu got good in the last couple months or last weeks or so. I feel like I go through phases like that every once in a while, like quite a bit often recently. Like I'm like, damn, my jiu-jitsu is getting good. Like I feel like I'm saying that every time I roll. I'm like, whoa, I got a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, some days I like get my ass whooped over and over and over. But some of the days I'm getting my ass whooped because I'm trying new shit. And if I'm trying new shit, I'm not gonna do it and be good at it right away. I'm trying the new shit that I learned, and I'm getting beat every single time because I'm trying the new stuff, but I'm trying to figure it out. As soon as I get through that little hurdle, like I'm gonna grow. Like I heard someone talk about it as writing. Like you learn to write the ABCs. I think I talked about it in another podcast. We learn to write the ABCs, and then you start learning cursive, and you suck at cursive. You almost take a step down. Then when you start learning cursive, you're a step up. Then you go to typing. At first, you're pecking, and you kind of suck. Then you go to speed typing, and you took a step up. So it's like that in jiu-jitsu too. But like, yeah, still things. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while now. Still random things are clicking. Like, oh man, fuck, this changes my game a little bit. I don't know. You never stop growing in jiu-jitsu, but you just got to learn to enjoy it. There's going to be downs. There's going to be ups. There's going to be injuries. You just got to roll with it and just keep going. But that's why I think it's going to make you tougher and make you grow.
Shout out to zebra mats, by the way. I'm putting my living room. I'm gonna put mats in my living room. They're hooked it up. They're the sweetest mats I've ever seen. I'm doing some things around the house though, so they're not gonna be up for another week or so. But once they're up, I'm gonna post a picture, and they turned out so sick.
It's gonna be nice,
dude.
Because still, I've been sticking with like the movement before bed, going through some yoga poses, going on the foam roller a little bit, and having that mat space is gonna be nice.
I want to teach Danny jiu-jitsu, and she just doesn't have time because she's literally worked. She has one day off Sunday because she took that time off for Vegas, so she just doesn't have time. Even still, like she's working so much, but it'd be nice to just get her in a gi and get her, self confidence up. She's not confident, but it just helps so much with everything.
Dude,
helps me. It'll help me too.
It's gonna help you a ton.
Drills.
That's what I was just gonna say. You really start to learn the information when you have to teach it, and you see things you didn't see before when you were just learning it. So that'll be fucking sweet. And Danny, watch if you guys stay consistent with that, Danny's gonna end up loving it.
And she's smart, so she's fucking gonna get it. Like Mariah's getting. It's honestly weirdly how good she's getting. It's funny watching her do new things already. Like she's already learning shit that it took me 2 years to learn. It's crazy.
That's the thing I kind of love about jiu-jitsu. Like, love fighting. Fighting's that's probably my top thing, obviously. But jiu-jitsu is cool because it can bring every walk of life in, and you can put them through tough scenarios, and then make them learn. And it's like a form of fighting, but everyone can do it, and that's why I like it a lot. It's pretty cool, and it does give a lot of people confidence because it's fucking scary, especially if you've never wrestled or you've never done anything physical with another human, and you see it, you're like, what? Oh, I don't know about that. And then you do it, and you're like, oh my God, that was so sweet. I want to keep doing it. I love seeing that with people.
It was funny because on a couple Saturdays ago, I asked Mariah, I wasn't sparring, and I asked her if she wanted to do some no-gi, and she'd never done no-gi. Mm-hmm. And she was it's such a different sport. Gi and no-gi is a totally different sport if you go from gi to no-gi.
Yeah, for sure.
If you go from no-gi to gi, it's still different, but you can still kind of do your no-gi stuff. But if you go from gi to no-gi, there's no gi there. You can't grab anything. You almost need to learn how to roll again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's sweet. It's sweet. I fucking love grappling. I'm gonna do that shit forever.
Yeah, grappling's the best.
What would you do? What would you be doing if you didn't fight?
I get asked that quite a bit, and I still don't really have an official answer because I wouldn't be into the gaming scene. Like I wouldn't be with Optic Gaming. I would be making money gaming if it wasn't for fighting. So I can't really say I'd be gaming. I don't know. I don't know if I would have found something else. I didn't really have any other passions. I'd probably be working with mentally disabled people or kids. That's kind of like what I feel like I would be doing because those are the only things I really enjoyed outside of fighting was helping people and kids and stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to say. But there's not many people I'd like to straight up switch lives with. But I don't know. I'd probably be a firefighter. Just because firefighters, you're not all your time's not taken up. Like every day is your Friday, so you can still live another life. You're not working a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. It's not taking up your whole life. So I'd probably do that. And I see my brother's life, like, and I'm like, he's pretty happy. It's pretty sweet. So I'd probably be a firefighter. But again, I don't know. Who fucking knows?
That's a good question. It's hard to answer.
Where did you guys learn about nutrition?
Tim?
Yeah, I've got to learn about it from a bunch of different people. Like since I was 19, I was trying to figure out how to cut weight, trying to figure out on my own. And I was like researching it, and then I was working with Jamie Varder and his nutritionist, watching Pat Healy cut weight, and I have like almost 30 MMA fights. A little more than 30 MMA fights. In each fight, I've had to diet and do different weight cuts. So I've kind of recorded what's best for me. Learned a little bit from everyone. George Lockhart, Mike Dolce, reading books, but just like gone through it myself and then tried to give it over to Sean. What would you say to someone who's against smoking weed?
Have you ever smoked weed before?
Yeah, that's a perfect question. Have you ever?
Well, no, but.
Yeah, someone who's against smoking weed, it's like, okay, you're fucking retarded, sweet, and you might as well just walk the other way because I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not against smoking weed, but like, okay, if you're against smoking weed, just like Sean said, and you've never tried it, then shut up. You don't know. You don't fucking know.
If you have tried it and you took an edible and you took way too much and you had a horrible trip, now you just hate it. It's just, those are closed-minded people, and it's hard to argue with someone who's not willing to be wrong. So it's almost pointless to talk. Like, yeah, it's just not really worth to even argue it.
Yeah, it's different. It's different if someone like doesn't like it, for sure. Yeah, some people don't like weed, don't like the way it smells. That's different. But if you're against it, that's a little weird. And just like you said, it's pointless arguing with someone who's they're not gonna budge. They're just closed-minded. They're stuck in their ways. Don't even waste your energy. Just feel bad for them. Any tips for a 16-year-old that's dropped out of high school to do what they love?
Keep doing what you love.
Yeah, like, okay, if you dropped out of high school and you're 16, it depends what you love, but you better find, like, a work ethic. Like, stay consistent on that. Like, it depends what you love. If it's MMA, then go to a gym and just show up at every single class. Like, be consistent on something that's whatever it is. You got to be consistent. You can't be like, oh, I dropped out of high school at 16. Now I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to play video games. I'm going to get in a bad routine. You got to get in a good routine, or go back to high school. I don't know. How do you guys think Sugar would match up against TJ Dillashaw?
I feel like seeing TJ in person, or seeing him fight, he's not tall. Like, I mean, you guys remember, I'm 5'11", he's 5'7". Like, I'm big, I'm long. So a lot of his shots aren't going to land on me that land on these other guys. He's fighting Cody, who's, I think, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little taller, but still not as tall as me. How tall is Hennon Brow?
5'9", I think.
See, I'm long, rangy. I feel like I match up against everyone really well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm 100% positive that you could stand up right now with anyone in the 35 division. Straight kickboxing, any one of them you could knock out on any given day. And now you're grappling, slowly climbing. Like I said, for this USADA thing, like, when we come back from it, we're not gonna wait around and be like, oh, maybe we'll fight one guy that's not in the top 15. But if we're out for 2 years, the worst comes to worst, we're gonna fight one guy that's not in the top 15, and then jump in the top 15 because your skill set's gonna be there, 100%. Your skills are gonna be there. That's why I say, a couple years, fuck TJ up. He's right. Tough. He's tough everywhere, and it's not gonna be an easy fight. But you're tough everywhere. Your jiu-jitsu's tough. You have a good gym. You have guys that are better than him, and every area. So like 100%, there's no reason you're an athlete. You got a strong mindset. There's no reason you can't beat him.
And who knows? Like going into this last fight, like honestly, my foot, like in my head, like I planned I might break my foot going like in the middle of this fight. I might break my foot and have to figure out how to win with a broken foot. It wasn't feeling good. It was every single practice I was dealing with my foot, wrapping it, hurting it. Every practice I had my foot injury. Or am I dealing with it? So this could be a blessing in disguise. I could have went in there, broke my foot, been out another 4 or 5 months with an injury. But now I got stem cells, I got PRP. My foot's feeling good. I'm gonna train. I'm gonna lift. I'm gonna do jujitsu. I'm gonna box. I'm gonna just continue to get better. So that's the only way I can really look at this to not be upset. It's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm a young MMA fighter with the hopes and dreams of making it pro. Any tips?
Yeah, just literally. I mean, we say this. We get asked this kind of a lot. It's just train at a good gym, and if you're beating everybody, go to another gym and train with other people. You shouldn't be winning everything. You should be competing. You should be winning, and you should be losing. And I truly think that's a good recipe for success.
Yeah, and like I said, find a good gym like where they're already having success, and just show up there, get your ass beat, come back, get your ass beat, come back, get your ass beat, come back. You get your ass beat and keep coming back, I guarantee those coaches are going to look at you and be like, okay, this kid keeps coming back. So you just like literally just diving in full force and not missing a class, going to as many classes as you can. If you're feeling sore and lazy, I could go home and play my Xbox right now. Okay, how bad do you want to be pro? Not that bad if you want to go home and play your Xbox when you have a chance to jump into class. So that's what I say. If you guys could sit and have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be? Probably for me, and we're gonna, because he invited us to his house, is Paul Check, obviously. He's like fucking the man. Eckert would be cool to be around.
Eckert would be cool. Rogan would be kind of fun.
Yeah, Rogan would be bad. Well, we got to do that.
Yeah,
but Alan Watts, maybe?
Yeah.
Some of those guys that are just crazy with crazy minds, I'd like to be around them and see how they think. Eckert Tolle, Paul Check.
Someone on death row that's been in prison for like 20 years.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be nuts.
What's your plans after fighting?
Fuck, that's a long time to think about.
It's so hard to say. That's so hard to say. When I was younger, I was so sure I was going to move back to Great Falls and start a gym. Now it's like, yeah, I love Great Falls, I love Montana, but that's not the place for me, to live right now. But plans change all the time. Random people come into your life, random things happen, and it puts you on a whole different path. So it's pointless to think too far in the future. Kind of an idea, I definitely want to just kind of live pretty simple.
Our compound.
I would love to live in the compound to where we're growing our own veggies.
Chickens.
We have chickens. We're getting all our food from ourselves. I don't know. That's something like that. Super simple. Where we have a good daily routine. Still growing and things. Still just reading, doing our vegetables, training jiu-jitsu. That's what I say. That's where I want to be. And definitely would like to have kids one day. It'd be fun to have kids, see a little person and see how good of a little person that you can make.
Speaking of veggies, I juiced yesterday for the first time in so long, and I didn't really grab a recipe. I just grabbed a beet, lemon, apple, carrots, celery, and it was one of the best ones I've ever made. It was so good. We're juicing tonight again too, but I forgot how good those. Oh, dude, it tasted so good. Fresh veggies.
You do forget how good that juice feels going into it. It's like your body's just as soon as it goes down, your body's just yes, yes, yes. And I think it's different too, when it's a ton of fruit. Obviously, if it's a ton of fruit, it's just okay, sugar, 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 sugar.
The beet is so sweet.
The beet, yes.
The beet, celery, I don't know. Yeah, it was fucking good. We're eating a vegan. I think we're gonna eat pretty much vegan all week. Just kind of. I like playing with how it feels. So I'm gonna see how I feel. I feel like I've been eating a lot, meat every day. Every single day I've been eating meat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lift more this week and not eat meat and kind of see how I feel.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That kind of sounds good too, because I try to do a protein every day too, and before I used to have a huge appetite. Now I don't have an appetite that much. I'm I don't even want to eat fucking meat right now. But I know it benefits me, and Probably a lot in my mind too, but I'm like, God, I need that fucking power from that meat. But a good little break would probably help. Nice reset.
Danny makes such, like, when we ate vegan for 6 months, shit, the meals she was making were the best meals ever. So you can, we're gonna make something tonight. It'll be on the YouTube series. We're gonna record it and stuff too.
How often do you spar? How many rounds per session?
Personally, I don't spar. I literally pretty much only spar in camp. But I think with my mindset right now, I'm gonna definitely, I don't want to lose my timing and everything, so I'm gonna probably spar Wednesday and Saturday, a few rounds, nothing crazy.
Yeah, and for me, it's changed. I used to spar a lot, but I've had some major surgeries from sparring. I've had some fucking fight of the nights in the cage and not get paid for them, and I've had a lot of injuries. So I try to like take my sparring down a little bit. When the fights get closer, I try to do on my sparring days a solid 3-5s, like whether it's outside the cage or inside the cage. I try not to spar a ton because I don't like sparring 50 rounds in a row and then just standing there with bad habits, not on the balls of my feet. I don't like doing that, so I like just getting my sparring done and being done with it.
I don't like getting hit in the head. That shit scares me.
Fuck yeah,
I ain't trying to get hit in the head if I don't need to. Like when I have a fight coming up 100%, I'm sparring hard, but I trust my partners that they're not gonna. If I do get a little rock, they're not gonna try to. Oh, I'm gonna finish him. Like that's not what this is about. Like that's people that do that. There's people in the gym that do that, and I don't spar with those guys. There's bigger guys that try to beat up on the little dudes, and I think that's fucking pathetic, and it's not cool, and that's your ego. Yeah. So I stick away from those kind of guys.
It's crazy. Tony said he doesn't spar.
That was funny. I did hear, not funny, but I did hear that. That was weird.
Damn, dude. I'm like, how the fuck? Because I swear I spar just for the cardio. You can't get that cardio anywhere else but sparring.
But then look at him.
But I think the longer your career goes and the more you're training for those camps, it's easier to get in that kind of shape. It's not like you're used to being that tired. Yeah. You're used to that, and it's in your mind. You've been there before. It's nothing new. So
it's easier going from camp out for a couple weeks camp, but going from camp to surgery into camp, I was like, holy fuck. I forgot how tiring sparring and fighting was. Oh, those first couple rounds, I'm like, what the fuck? I need to step it up.
Yeah, for sure. When someone says the fight is not won in the cage, what does that mean to you?
I don't know. It depends. I feel like high-level fights, the fight is won in the cage. Who's showing up in these 15 minutes? Who's there mentally? I think it is. Or you can look at like Jose and Connor. Like that fight was won outside the cage. Connor was in his head. I mean, it still was won in the cage by the split-second decision with that left hand. But I think at a high level, it's in the cage who wins.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Especially at these high-level fights, people are like, "Oh, this guy was better than him." You have no idea. You don't know. Okay, maybe that. Okay, the Khabib Conor fight was a little different. Like Khabib was way more skilled than him, out-grappled him. But some fights that are really neck and neck, it could come down to how did that guy rehydrate after weigh-ins? How did that guy sleep? One guy slept fucking great. One guy rehydrated great. The other guy may be a better fighter than him. But on that day, his cognitive function, his reaction speed's a little more better. And that day, he beat him just because of what happened the night before. So I think there's a lot that goes into like high-level fights, just like a game of inches. Who shows up on that day? Because usually 10 out of 10 times, a guy won't beat another guy. It'll be, there's so much shit.
A guy with a shitty 6-week training camp could show up that day, and the guy that had a good 6-week training camp might not show up that day, and the other guy that showed up is going to win. So what matters is you show up that day, at that time, that location. That's what matters.
Yeah, for sure. Tips to improving your BJJ game as a beginner?
I'd say watch YouTube videos. I feel like that helps a lot.
Yeah, and just I see this a lot too. Like, listen to your coach. Like your coach is trust in your coach and trust that he's going to teach you these techniques. Because a lot of younger people, older people that have been through like college and learning, they learn a little better, so they follow directions. But younger people are like, oh, what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do this? No. Jiu-jitsu's been around for a while now, and we're learning it from like master people. So just find a good instructor and listen to them and do those techniques. Go in there and focus on your technique. Yeah, and try to focus. Don't think about anything else and try to focus.
It's fun watching all the guys at Gents where you teach, because they're all getting good information, shit that you're learning from Tanquino, stuff you learned from Crouch. Like they're getting good information, and I go and roll with those guys, and they've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 4, 5, 6 months, and I'm like, damn, these guys are learning fast.
Yeah.
Because they all seem like they trust in it, and they all, you know, there's some people learn better than others, but I feel like they're getting good fast, like way faster than I got.
Yeah, we got a pretty fun group over at Gents. Do you guys do seminars?
Something we're gonna look into. We haven't done any, but I think we will.
Yeah, for sure. Like for sure. After I get a fight here, and then we have extra time. Yeah.
Do you have any news on a fight? Still looking?
They're looking for a fucking fight. I don't know.
November
9th. They're trying to find. Fuck, I'll fight anywhere though. It doesn't even matter. How did you guys find the discipline needed to become pro fighters?
How did I find the discipline? I didn't really think of it as a discipline. I just did. I was like, damn, I want to train and I want to get good, and then that's kind of where I just wanted to train and wanted to get good. I didn't think of it as like I have to. I just wanted to.
Yeah, you had that in you too. Plus, you got to be at the lab and see guys that were making a living and seeing what they were doing, and then just following them.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing guys that are where you want to be, and then just following them, following their work ethic, following their attitude. What are they doing? What are they eating? Like, that's a good one. But a book review I wanted to do, just a quick one. It's called Unbeatable Mind by Mark Divine. It's forge resiliency and mental toughness to succeed at an elite level. This book's good. Like, reading this before training camps and stuff is really good. I'll just read a couple like things I've just underlined. This part says, find your positive focus. Negativity derails your performance. So it's imperative that you are able to control your focus and shift away from these influences. Being negative, like that's what we always talk about, how toxic it is. It's not helping anyone. It's not helping anyone around you. It's not helping yourself. So being in control of your thoughts is huge, and the way to do it is meditation. To elevate the importance of your human development to the same status as eating or sleeping, this is absolutely critical. The warrior doesn't live in the past or the future. The warrior lives in the present. He fulfills his purpose every day. The pre-dawn of each day must be embraced with the same high energy and uncompromising effort. Assuming you do not stray, that you practice and master the virtue of consistency. That's what we always say too. No matter what it is, if you stay consistent in it, if you stay consistent, and when you're doing it and you're staying present and you're trying to learn, you're gonna get good at it. Literally, consistency over time equals results. That's the way it is. It's sweet. It's simple. Everyone asks, oh God, how do you get good at this? How do you get good at BJJ? How are you so good at fighting? We've stayed consistent practicing it. That's it. It's all about today. Today's where you need to target your thoughts and energy. Develop an offensive attitude. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. I could gain control over my mind if I consistently practiced holding a true, complete state of silence in my mind. That's hard. How hard is that?
Very hard.
That's fucking hard. It takes a lot of practice. You understand that every rainy day is followed by sunshine. My purpose is to master myself so I can serve humanity as a warrior, leader, and a teacher. I believe that success in life is internal and comes from developing mastery over yourself.
That's good.
I learned that if you don't train to grow or are stuck in a singular dimension in your training, like pursuing improvements strictly with the plane of the physical or strictly in the realm of the intellectual, then it is likely that the important aspects of your intelligence will be undeveloped from an integrated whole person perspective. The key concept I want to leave you with is to look at training your whole person in an integrated manner from now on. This will set you on a path to mastering yourself at all levels and accelerate you toward higher plateaus of consciousness, where you'll experience life at its fullest. Try not to take yourself too seriously, and keep in mind that the journey is more important than the destination, so you should relax and enjoy the walk. That's how I always constantly got to remind myself. Like, goes by so quick. It seems like just the other day, it was 8 years ago, or just the other day we were in our apartment.
Oh,
So
yeah.
really just enjoying the moment so big. But I've been getting better at it. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. That's something, you always hear that. Enjoy the journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's huge. Good to be reminded too, always.
The first fight is in your mind, which is questioning whether you have the skills, the power, or otherwise the ability to enter into this fight and win. Second guessing yourself and negative self-talk erode your performance. I don't know, there's a bunch. Wisdom must be trained or attained through much trial and error. There's a bunch. This is a good book. If you guys want to read this book and let us know how it is, I really liked it. But I think that's good for the day. We'll see you guys in a week.
Yes, peace.
Peace.